Today, in this video, we will discuss introduction to manufacturing processes. So we have the various definitions of the manufacturing processes. For example, manufacturing means to make things. Things means we can say the components, the items, the parts, the products. Also, we can say the manufacturing processes are the ways, the methods which we adopt to make the things, to make the parts, to make the products. And these ways are the methods we use to make the components, the parts. They involve either a single step or a number of steps to make the parts or the products. We have the other definitions of manufacturing processes also. The manufacturing processes are those which convert the geometry, the appearance, or the physical properties of a starting raw material. For example, in the case of die casting process, we use aluminium, the molten aluminium, to convert it into the connecting rod. For example, in the case of forging process, we take the solid metal aluminium to convert it into the connecting rod. So, in various ways, methods, we are converting the shape of the starting raw material into another shape. So the manufacturing processes, they can convert the shape, the geometry, the appearance, the physical properties, the hardness, ductility of the materials. The manufacturing processes are used to convert starting raw material into the final part or the product. We take a sheet of metal, we convert it into a blank, and then by performing the drying operation, this blank can be converted into a pressure cooker, into a fry pan. So we are converting the starting raw material into the final part or the product. Manufacturing processes convert work parts into the finished goods by addition of values. For example, when we use a drilling machine to drill some holes into a piece of metal, we are using the machines, we are using the toolings, we are using the cutting tools, drill bits, we are using the labor, we are using the power to operate these machines. So all these are the values which are adding to the workpiece, to the work parts, to the static raw materials. And we are going to increase their values. So that's why the manufacturing processes converts the work parts into the final parts, the final goods by the addition of values, by adding values. And these processes convert a workpiece into more valuable part of the product. So in this example, we are manufacturing a scissor. So at the leftmost, we have the static raw material with the lowest value. And as we keep on adding the values in terms of various steps performed in that particular case, in that particular manufacturing process, we keep on adding the values, and the value of the material keep on increasing until it converts into a final part, into a final product. So in this case, in this figure, the starting raw material at leftmost is the work part with the lowest value, and the final part or the product at rightmost is the part or the product with highest value. Also, manufacturing processes involve operations to be performed on work parts to convert them into the final shape. We can divide, we can categorize these manufacturing operations in the case of manufacturing processes either in processing operations or in assembly operations. So processing operations are those operations which are performed on a single piece of material, on a single work part. To convert it into the desired form. For example, the examples in the case of processing operations, the operations that we perform on machine tools. Machine tools means all those machines which are used to perform the machining operations. For example, lathe machine, milling machine, drilling machine, shaper, slaughter, planer, grinders. So the operations that we perform on these machines, they are categorized in the case of processing operations. These operations are performed on a single piece, single item, single component. And the parts are the components manufactured from these processing operations. They can be used separately, individually, as a final part or the product. Are these individual items or the components manufactured by using the processing operations can be integrated to make a bigger system known as the product. So product consists of several components, whereas the part is only a single piece. So the examples of processing operations include lathe operations, milling operations, the casting operations, the forging operations, the rolling operations. A chair is manufactured by using processing operation. This operation is performed in a injection molding machine. The material to manufacture this chair is plastic, mostly polypropylene, because it's a tough material. This chair is a single entity, it's a single part, but this part is used independently. It's a final part, it's a final product. In another example, we have a car bumper, also manufactured by using the processing operation. The same material, polypropylene, is used for its manufacturing because it's a tough material. And the tough material can resist the impact loads, the shock loads. It's also a single entity, but it's not used independently. This component, this part is assembled along with other components, parts to make a complete system, a bigger system, a product known as the car, the automobiles. The next classification of the manufacturing operations include the assembly operations. And the assembly operations are used to join two or more individual items, components, parts, which are made manufactured by using the processing operations to make a one complete system, a bigger system, known as the product. So the processing operations are performed on single part, on a single piece of material, on a single component, on a single item. Whereas the assembly operations includes the integration of multiple components to make a product. So the part is a single piece, product is the combination of several pieces. And the examples of assembly operations include the operations involved in joining parts to make a car, to make a bike, to make televisions. The operations involved in joining parts to make all types of other products. For example, the computers, the laptops, trucks, ships, submarines, aircrafts, juicers, blenders, vacuum cleaners, fans, air conditioners. So all the products, they are manufactured with the help of assembly operations. And the assembly operations is the one category that is performed in manufacturing processes. The other category is the processing operations, which are performed also in the case of manufacturing processes. So as an example, we are going to study the car again. A car is manufactured by assembly operations. It consists of many individual components. For example, tires, rims, bumpers, steerings, engines, and fuel tank, many more parts. These individual components are made by processing operations. And then these components are integrated to make a one complete product, this car. Now we are going to discuss the various types of the manufacturing processes. The first type of the manufacturing processes include the casting processes, the casting techniques. And in this category, we have various types. The sand casting, sodium silicate, carbon dioxide gas casting, the shell casting, lost form casting, investment casting, die casting, centrifugal casting, slush casting, continuous casting. And all these casting processes, they are they are the types of casting techniques, the casting processes, which is the type of manufacturing processes. We will discuss later on these processes individually, separately, how they are used to make the parts. The second type of the manufacturing processes include the machining operations. And we can classify the machining operations into two categories: conventional machining operations and the non-conventional machining operation. If there is a direct physical contact between the cutting tool and the part to be manufactured, to be processed, it's known as the conventional machining. And if there's no direct physical contact between the cutting tool and the workpiece, it's into the category of non-conventional machining operation. So in the case of conventional machining operations, we have a variety of operations, means the turning operations are the lathe operations, milling operations, the drilling operations, the grinding operations, the slotting operations. We have the shaping operations, the planing operations, the boring operations, the reaming operations, sawing operations. We will discuss later on these processes, these operations individually. And in the category of non-conventional machining operations, we have the idioms, electric discharge machinings. And in this case, we have also two types. One is the wire cut, and second is the die sinking machine. Then we have the laser beam machining operations, the water jet machinings, plasma arc machines, and many more. The ultrasonic machines, electrochemical machining, electron beam machining, the chemical machining, and we will discuss these operations one by one in the next videos. Then another category of the manufacturing processes include the deformation processes, also known as the bulk deformation processes. And in this category, we have the rolling operations, we have the forging operations, metal extrusions, and wire drying. Then we have another type known as the joining methods, in which we have the welding. And welding have several types. We will discuss them. The brazing, soldering, mechanical assembly, and adhesive bonding. All these are the types of the joining methods, which are the types of manufacturing processes. Then in the case of manufacturing process, we have another type known as the sheet metal working. And in this category, we have three main processes: the cutting operations, the bending operations, and the drying operations. Then powder metallurgy, which involves the making of powders, the pressing of powders, and the sintering or other operations to convert these green preforms into the solid form. Then we have another category of the manufacturing processes involve the properties enhancing processes: the annealing, normalizing, quenching, tempering, hardening. Then we have these surface processing operations, which involves the cleaning operations, the painting operations, the vapor deposition, coatings, platings, diffusions, ion implantations. Then we have the shaping processes for plastics, includes the injection molding processes, blow molding process, extrusion molding process, thermoforming process, rotational molding, compression molding. Then we have the additive manufacturing, involves the stereolithography, laminated object manufacturing, fused deposition modeling, selective laser sintering. Then, in the case of manufacturing processes, we also have the gloss working, rubber processing techniques, ceramics processing techniques, composites manufacturing, micro manufacturing technologies, and the nano manufacturing technologies. We will discuss all these manufacturing processes and their types one by one in our next videos. To discuss them, how these processes work, what are the operational parameters for these processes, which type of machines are used to perform these manufacturing processes, which type of materials can be used in these processes, and which type of parts, the part geometries can be manufactured by using these processes, and which type of physical properties can we gain from these processes. So, dear friends, like, share, and subscribe our video. We will keep on adding videos on all manufacturing processes and machines. And you can also request a video on any manufacturing topic.